All right, low brass. This video is going to complete Opus 3. Tomorrow we move on to Opus 4. How exciting is that? We are on page 25, and we're covering the last two lines in two little songs in number 3, part 3. And we're talking about block rest. Well, I call them block rest. The book calls them multi-measure rest. We did a little bit of this in the winter concert, right? You have several measures of rest in a row. And instead of writing out every single little rest, they put a little block and put the number above it, and you count that many. And the best way to do this is to substitute the number 1 for whatever measure you're on. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I got no problem with you using your fingers or whatever you have to do to keep up with that, because it's very easy to get lost counting a multi-measure rest. So 3.38, you have one multi-measure rest, starts the song. We're in 4/4 time, key of E flat, 3 flats, B flat, E flat, A flat, and we're going to start by counting 2 measures of rest. All right, then we go on with the song. There's a lot going on here. This is a band arrangement, right? You put this together, the whole band, and we get a little song, okay? So it's not very hard for the low brass part, but it is kind of long. Look at what all you got going on here. You've got an interior repeats at 13 and again at 19. You have first and second endings that are involved with both of those, so you got to make that skip on the second endings both time. And then you have variations in dynamics and accents. Let's say it first. Here we go. Ready? Actually, I'm not going to say this with you. We're just going to play it. It's mostly E flats and B flats. There's some G's and some F's in there. If you struggle with this, then I would recommend you go through and back and say it. But I think these two lines are going to be simple enough that you ought to be able to look at it and do it pretty close the first time. So here we go. Ready? 1 and 2 and ready and go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 2 and 2 and 3 and 4. 3 and 4. Let's start that over. I blew that entirely. So this would have been a situation where we could have stood that. In fact, let's go ahead and say the letters here. Starting, pick up to 19. Now those 2/8 notes that occur in the line before 19 are actually pickups. So that's F, 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 that's a pickup. So I'm starting right there. 1 and 2 and 3. F, 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 G, A flat, G, E flat, G, F, 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 G, A flat, G, E flat, G, F, rest. And then you go back to the very simple part. That's a little snippet of the melody. You have melody right there at 19. So here we are, starting pick up to 19, and we'll finish the song, right? 1 and 2 and 3. No, my glasses messed up. Okay, let's try it again. 1 and 2 and 3. E flat very well in tune. I would need to hear it some more and get it in relation to the key. Probably play the scale a few times or play up to it. To really lock that in. All right. But you're hearing, not your lip and your slide fingers. Okay. 339. 339. This one is not as recognizable. This is original composition. That first one's a William Tell Overture. We've actually tinkered around with that on another line. Okay. You know it from commercials and things like that. Your parents may know it as the theme to the Lone Ranger. But you don't have the melody most of the time. You just have that little bit. It's the trumpets and flutes and other instruments that have the melody most of the time. All right, so 339. We're in 3/4 time. Key of E flat, 3 flats, B flat, E flat, A flat. We have accents. We start forte. We have a multi-measure rest. We have interior repeats. And we have a crescendo in it. So let's give this a shot, right? Here's our first note. 2 and ready and go. 1, 2 and 3 and 2 and 2 and 3 and All right. So we had some high B flats in that. We just really got into that yesterday. I want to encourage you to continue to work your B flat scale. Let's do that in half notes. Ready and go. Think the letters. B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G, A natural, second position, D flat, A, G, F, E flat, D, C, B flat. If you will say it and say those letters first, I'm sure you can play it. The playing is not the issue. All right, congratulations. That finishes Opus 3. So we've tinkered with Opus 4 just a little bit. But we're going to jump into that full on tomorrow, and we are well on our way to finish the book. If you'll stay with me, do some pass-offs for me. Let's keep up with it. I think you'll continue to do well. All right, see ya.